Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We're about to get into a mailbag where I answer your guys' questions. The show aired on our live show. That happens every single Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. So subscribe and turn your notifications on so you can join us for the next one. We're also going to be live for the game this weekend on the channel, doing a watch party, play-by-play, audience interaction, just hanging out with the real ones. That sounds like something you're interested in. Subscribe, and we'll see you Sunday. First question coming in from my guy, Real One Ricky. He said, do we surprise the world and have all our starters in the house this weekend? I do not think Wan'Dale Robinson will play. I think he's still dealing with that knee injury that Brian Daboll said was day-to-day. He did not participate at Wednesday's practice, so I would say that's not the best look for someone that's trying to play. I could see Kayvon Thibodeau playing, but I do still think that Azeez Ojulari might be a week or two away from getting back out onto the gridiron. It'd be awesome to have a fully healthy team, but I don't think it's going to be this week. Shout out to Mikey. He says, two-parter. Who starts at cornerback 2 this weekend? And since our linebackers struggle in coverage, I think it's best to throw Love in the box to cover CMC out of the backfield. Okay, who starts at CB2? I think it's going to be Fabian Moreau. I think they're going to call him up from the practice squad. He's the guy that the Giants signed a couple of weeks ago. He has the most experience in the NFL, the most starts. So I'll go with Fabian Moreau. And do I think that our linebackers did struggle in coverage against the Tennessee Titans? Dontrell Hilliard or Hillman, I don't even remember his name. I didn't really even know his name at the time. Had 2 receiving touchdowns, 60 yards. I don't hate the idea of Julian Love playing in the box. You're going to have Dane Belton on the field this week. So I could definitely see more 3 safety sets with McKinney, Belton, as well as Julian Love. And as we've seen before, Julian's not afraid to get down in the box and mix it up. Whether it's Love, McKinney, or Belton, I definitely think we should put a safety a little bit more on CMC coming out of the backfield. Mikey, great question as always. Shout out to you, brother. Rosario Guzzo, what up, man? How will the Giants replace Aaron Robinson with his injury? I think, like we talked about, Fabian Moreau is going to be the guy they're going to call up from the practice squad. I don't know if that's a great answer. Hopefully he's only out for a game. I mean, had his appendix removed. That's a brutal injury that happened to my brother when he was a kid. He lost like 40 pounds in like 2 weeks. So it may be a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks for Aaron Robinson to come back. We're going to miss him because he played really good against the Titans. Maybe they put Darnay Holmes on the outside. I think he's more of a slot guy. Maybe Cordell Flott gets some burn, the rookie out of LSU. It's still going to be a patchwork job to try to replace Aaron Robinson. Barry McCalkner, should the Giants trade Tyrod Taylor to the Cowboys for a pick? And then elevate Davis Webb from the practice squad? I love me some Davis Webb. But it'd have to be a first, a second, a third, or a fourth, or a fifth round pick because I ain't helping the Cowboys out. Why would we help the Cowboys? It ain't going to happen. Let's type LOL in the Cowboys because they are 0-1 and their season is looking like it's over before it even got started. No way, no how would I make a trade with the Dallas Cowboys to make them a better football team. Not a chance in hell I would do that. Maybe I'm being dumb. Maybe we should. I'll take your pulse, though. Let me know. Would you trade Tyrod Taylor to the Cowboys? Would you do it? Help him out. Dak's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks, maybe a little bit quicker. I don't know. But I'll ask you this. Should the Giants trade Tyrod Taylor to the Cowboys? Type T for trade, or you can go down and type K for keep. I'm typing K because I ain't helping out the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to Alex. Will Saquon have a better game than CMC? I could see it really going either way, right? A crazy stat, though. The Carolina Panthers. How do I want to say this? Carolina is 0-10 in their last 10 games where they've given up 100 or more rushing yards. So, if I'm Brian Daboll and I'm Mike Kafka and I know when the Panthers give up 100-plus rushing yards, the statistics say they're going to lose. I am feeding Saquon Barkley. I am doing everything I can to have this team dominate on the ground. But I could see McCaffrey having a good day as well. He's just a bad matchup for the Giants. I don't know if he'll do that well on the ground versus us, because we did hold Derrick Henry to less than 90 yards on the ground. But it's the receiving element out of the backfield that scares me. He's one of the best in the NFL as being a receiving threat out of the backfield. And the Giants last week got torched by a receiving back in Tennessee. So that's where I'm a little bit concerned. But I'll roll with Saquon. I think he's going to have a good game and continue to build and build and build and get better and better every game. Saquon's going to have a damn good season if he stays healthy. Shout out to John. What up, man? Aside from the top 2 QBs in next year's draft, I don't see anyone better than DJ. What do they do if they decide to move on? Well, it's only been like 2 or 3 games in college football. Let's not overreact. I know Bryce Young is really good. CJ Stroud is really good. Will Levis, he still has a lot to prove. Anthony Richardson, I think, is probably a year away from entering the NFL. But look, someone is always going to appear out of nowhere. It happens every single year. No one thought Kenny Pickett before the season was going to be the first quarterback drafted. If I don't see anyone better, okay, what do we do if they decide you draft a QB? That's what it is. Or you make a trade, or you go out and sign someone like Lamar Jackson. He's going to be a free agent if he can't get to a contract resolution with the Ravens. I doubt they let him walk away, but they can go in a multitude of ways to try to get a new quarterback. My opinion is they should do it through the draft so they can have a cost-controlled QB for the next 5 years and load up the roster, kind of like the Chargers did this year. You have that QB on a cheap deal, you can put a lot of talent around him. If you're looking for a one-stop shop on YouTube that does nothing but cover the New York Giants and post videos every single day, goes live on Wednesdays, and goes live for game days, hit that big red button, and let's go Giants. Shout out to Aaron. How do you think Daniel Jones will play this week? I'm hoping he plays better than last week. I don't think Daniel Jones played bad last week. I don't think he played good either. I'd grade him at like a 75, 77. He did enough to get the win. But he left a lot of big plays out on the field. When I went back and watched the film, there was a couple plays where I was like, you just have to make that throw. You have to make that read. You have to decide to throw it. He had David Sills wide open for an 80-yard touchdown and didn't throw it to him. On one of the third downs and he rolled out to the right, he had Sterling Shepard screaming across the field wide open, and he just threw the ball into the dirt. He had some good plays, he had some bad plays, and he had some really ugly plays. But he did enough to win the football game. I just want Daniel Jones to play turnover-free football. If he does that, the Giants have a chance to win every single week. I truly believe that. Giants George, what player impressed you the most this past week? Great question. O'Shane Ximines comes to mind. Jihad Ward comes to mind. Josh Azudu, the rookie left guard, looked really good in the run game. Not so good in the pass game. Richie James had a hell of a ball game. Aaron Robinson had a hell of a ball game. Tate Crowder did not. He's the guy that I was unimpressed by. But Jihad Ward, O'Shane Ximines, Josh Azudu, Richie James, Aaron Robinson. Those are the guys that probably impressed me the most. Head over to chatsports.com/Giants 2-pack. Shout out to Fanatics, today's sponsor. And get yourself not one t-shirt, but 2 t-shirts for $29. 2 t-shirts for $29? That's a steal. And this deal, it ain't going to last forever. So take advantage of it. You can have a home shirt. You can have an away shirt. Rock it during the season. Chatsports.com/Giants 2-pack. I'll put that link in the comments and description of the video. Pro Cannon Gaming, my brother. No, it's early, but should the team focus to improve the defense or the offense this offseason? Both. You got to get better on both sides of the football. I think you need to get a tight end in the offseason. I think you need to add some more talent to this wide receiver room. Maybe you move off Galladay. Maybe you don't bring Shepard back. I hope they do. I love Sterling Shepard. I thought this offense desperately missed him. His ability to produce as a run blocker, as a wide receiver is truly incredible. You got to get better on offense, and you have to get better on defense. You could use an inside linebacker. You need another outside corner. So you got to get better on both sides of the ball. If I had to pick, I'd say offense. Because if you don't make the playoffs this year, Daniel Jones probably isn't going to be back. And that's a position you got to improve if you don't make the playoffs. Yeeta. Would I bet this week's special of Saquon 150 yards, 1+ touchdown, and Giants win at +20? So if he goes for 150 and 1 touchdown, does that hit? It says plus. So does that mean he's got to hit? Yeah, so he has to go for 151 and 2 touchdowns. Is that, or am I reading that wrong? Okay, so he just has to get to 150. Hell yeah, you should bet that. Why not? Put $10 on it and let's ride. Get rich. Do it with our BetUS, our proud sportsbook partner. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125. I think it's a good bet. It's risky, no doubt. That's why the odds are plus 2,500. But look, life's all about being risky. Scared money don't make money. Yita, make the bet. Let's ride. I might match you with it. Last question on this mailbag. Shout out to Jim. Wonder if he knows a guy, knows a girl named Pam. What's going on with Kadarius Toney? Great question, right? The guy played 7 snaps this past week, had 2 touches, and he was electric with the football. You need to find a way, Mike Kafka and Brian Dable, to insert him into this team. He is a guy, if you have a healthy Saquon Barkley looking like you did in week 1, and you have a healthy Kadarius Toney, those are 2 players that defensive coordinators are staying up at night worried about. Because Kadarius Toney, when the football is in his hands, is one of the most electric players in the NFL. You cannot argue that. Go back and watch the 2 plays. He turned 2 negative plays into 2+ plays. I love Kadarius Toney. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how he only plays 7 snaps. Brian Dable said that's how the cookie crumbled, essentially. That's how the wide receiver reps fared out, but he's a first-round pick, man. Get him on the field, even as a decoy. Because when he goes in motion, everybody on the defense's eyes follow him. They got to get him more involved. Let me ask you guys this question, though. Are you worried about Kadarius Toney? Had that offseason injury. The rookie year was a rocky one, and he's only playing 7 snaps in game 1. Are you worried? Are you worried about Kadarius Toney? Type W for worried, or if you're chilling, you're cool, you think Toney's going to bounce back, the joke is going to do what the Joker does. Type C for you're chilling.